In 1988, a little studio called New World Pictures stumbled upon the rights for Mamoru Oshii's 1985 art house masterpiece, Angel's Egg. And I say stumbled because they literally didn't want it. It was just packaged in a distribution bundle that they already paid chicken scraps for after the film commercially failed in Japan. Both the producer Tom Duggan and the soon-to-be director Carl Copart called the film incomprehensible, and for this reason opted to scramble the film from the ground up by splicing in random live-action segments so it would make more sense to overseas audiences. Virtually nobody on this production team knew how the film would actually be cut together. The cast and crew were given almost no direction, and in an attempt to create a reformed version of Angel's Egg, in the aftermath, had now hatched. This film isn't good. It's actually, it's pretty insulting. And knowing the distributors behind it changed it solely because they didn't get it should tell you all you need to know, because in the minimal dialogue that the original Angel's Egg did have, one of the two characters midway directly spells out the meaning for you. Pardon my French, but yeah, these guys were fucking retarded. Following this, it would take almost 40 years for Mamoru Oshii's original film to receive a nationwide theatrical release. Look, okay, I'm not that old. This movie almost doubles my age, so I can't even begin to imagine how it felt to slide in a VHS and be met with whatever the hell this thing was. Turning a portrayal of the director's fallout with Christianity into a post-apocalyptic sci-fi was a choice, but I think it also goes to show how far we've really come. As of me writing this, it is June 17th, so welcome to my off-the-cuff experiment where I have until the release of this movie, yes, this one right here, to explain to you why you need to watch anime movies in theaters, which gives me about, 3 days. In the last few years, anime's entered a sort of renaissance period, with movies like Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer breaking box office numbers, and regardless of how you feel about some of these titles, there's no doubt that it's allowed for lesser-known anime films to be given their own, albeit short, run in chain theaters too. Which is kinda why I'm making this. As of now, Adolescence of Utena, for the first time ever, is coming to US theaters for 2 days only. And honestly, the fact that this is being released overseas at all is still kinda revolutionary to me. There's a reason films like this have never received any proper Western distribution up until now, and it's because these kinds of films are notoriously hard to market. Imagine trying to get a company 15 years ago to agree to release a foreign anime film that, 1, only had a very limited theatrical run in its own home country, 2, wasn't even especially popular or profitable, and 3, requires you to have probably watched the original series first, or else you're gonna be wondering why Utena randomly turns into a car midway. Wait, what? For the uninitiated, this movie is kind of a retelling or alternative version of the series that you're probably far more aware of, being Revolutionary Girl Utena, except that tonally, these are pretty different in just about every way. Even the school's design was completely overhauled with these fuck-ass Assyrian bridges that look really cool, even if I have no idea how any of this squid works. Obviously, condensing a 39-episode series into a movie would have been a pretty terrible idea, which is why this serves as more of a companion piece that I probably wouldn't watch on its own, like I said, that freaking car. So yeah, this is rare. Like, extremely rare. And the only reason we've been getting so many old school films like this recently is because of G-Kids. The best way I can explain G-Kids would be the anime equivalent to the Criterion Collection if you ignore that Criterion also has the rights to Gunbuster and, K-On? Obviously, other distributors like Crunchyroll and Aniplex have released a handful of movies too, but G-Kids has gone the extra mile in releasing titles from decades ago that never had a theatrical run overseas. And honestly, just the fact that the West is beginning to realize that there's more to Japanese animation outside of Hayao Miyazaki's movies brings a tear to my eye, because I hate that stupid hack. In the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to see more anime films in theaters than I had in the previous 10 years of being an anime fan combined. Before this resurgence, I'd get to see a Fate movie or Shinkai flick if I was lucky, but now it feels like every month we're getting something new with releases like Gurren Lagann, Uma Musume, Perfect Blue, End of Evangelion, Kizumonogatari, etc. And with every release that I just mentioned, I missed about half of them. Can you guess why? I mentioned it earlier. Yeah, the release windows for basically every movie that I just listed was 1 to 2 days max, and only if other people left their house would they ever get extended. Yes, I know, going outside, it's asking for a lot, genuinely, but still, please, just find a way. Go alone, okay? That's what I do. I have very few friends, even less that like anime, so I go alone. I'll be at AX though, so please look out for me. It shouldn't be too hard. I'm really white. Keksi, I can't afford to see a movie in a theater. Don't you know how expensive these things are now? Sure, so cheat the system. Cinemark was trying to get me to spend like $19 for this Utena movie. And then I remembered, oh yeah, what about that silly $12 subscription service that I can sign up for and then immediately cancel for a free movie ticket? all of a sudden, this movie just got $7 cheaper. Movie tickets costing a fortune now is a real issue, okay? I get that. But if having the privilege to watch a limited time movie in its ideal format isn't a good way to directly support and show distributors that this is what you want, then I don't know what is. As somebody who's watched End of Evangelion and Angel's Egg countless times over the last decade, seeing both of these in a theater felt like I was cradling my newborn for the first time again. I've never actually had a kid, but I'd imagine that's how it feels. Obviously, the 4K restorations for these films look absolutely stunning, but that's also not the main reason that I want you to go. The End of Evangelion is famous for having some of the most gritty, guttural sound design ever put to a fucking microphone. So, like, case in point. Yeah, see? That sounded pretty cool. Now imagine hearing it in like 60 directions. Angel's Egg's remaster was an even more extreme case. The original film was a straight mono track, aka one track, and for the remaster, G-Kids took it upon themselves to isolate parts of the original mono track and rebuild it in 5.1 surround sound and Dolby Atmos. Even if you don't know what that means, that's a lot of work for a 2-day screening. It's getting released on Blu-ray too, of course, but thank Kami-sama that it's actually getting treated with the proper respect rather than reworking an avant-garde masterpiece to make more sense. Okay, I think you get the point. I've got like 3 days to finish this. Ultimately, having films like this in theaters right now is such a gift, and seeing Crunchyroll doing their own movie night thing is giving me some hope for some older releases too. A lot of countries aren't even getting these at all, so please don't take it for granted. And if that means getting one of these front seats, you snoozed, you losed, buy it anyway. Thanks for watching. Thank you to my super mega Ilya fans, Mpub47, Emma, Alcarenchi, Twy, Arctic Hand, Race Feet, and everybody else. I'm gonna get really drunk now.